I've made a lot of mistakes when building Selfmastered, and I come from a VC background, so I'm supposedly the kind of person that invests in businesses and then tell entrepreneurs what to do. So I should have known better. So this video is about telling you in all openness what I believe I screwed up when first starting the business, and then giving you 4 or 5 solid tips that you can implement today so you maximize your chances for success. Let's get to it. Hey, I'm Castillo, founder of Selfmastered. We're a high-performance training company that helps entrepreneurs scale their businesses by solving their silent bottleneck, their own performance. We transform the unproductive, overwhelming, and focused entrepreneurs into laser-focused business athletes that can achieve in one day what they previously achieved in 1 week. So today I want to do something fun, because I was asked the other day by one of the persons in our community, like, dude, what are the main mistakes you've done when building this business? Especially coming from a VC background, you've invested in 37 companies, you've seen all sorts of business models, you give advice to entrepreneurs, so you probably got it right in the first try, didn't you? Of course I did not. We all mess up, and this video is about sharing honestly what has not worked as well as it should have worked so you avoid this. So here we go. Mistake number 1, and this one has been huge for me, is over-investing in product and under-investing in marketing. And what I mean by this is that because I understood that nobody knew me in America, right? Because our market is mostly in America. I had a name in Spain, but not in America. And the way of counteracting this fact is by building the absolute best product I could build. And I devoted 1 year to build the best product I could. I released 3 versions of the product before I started taking marketing seriously. I was fortunate that leads were coming our way inbound, so we had the business open, and I didn't need to do as much marketing to stay alive. And the result is a fantastic product that everybody loves, but the marketing side of things has not been well developed yet. We are lucky that we found product market fit. So what we do is useful to folks, because oftentimes those that overinvest in product end up building something no one cares about. We had been lucky. I knew how to fix execution and performance problem based on my background, so I knew that what I had to offer was valuable. But if you don't have specific experience on the business you're trying to build, do not overinvest in product. Talk to people first and build what they need. Which leads me to mistake number 2. I did not take marketing seriously, at least not in the beginning. Why? Because I'm not a marketing guy. I come from the finance world. Before that, I was an architect, and I was mostly devoted to product. So I didn't really care about product or sales. I'm naturally good at sales, so marketing just was not on my mind. Huge mistake, because now I understand that marketing truly is the lifeblood of any digital business. And when I mean taking marketing seriously, I do not only mean just doing marketing. I mean truly understanding marketing, because marketing is super broad. The official definition is communication that gets you sales, but it goes way deeper than that. Marketing is how you relate to the world with your business. It's how the business perceives you. It's how do the customers understand you're helping them. It is even philosophical in nature, which is why I've come to realize that most folks do not truly understand marketing in its depth. They will focus on creating outrageous claims. Let's just 100x your business in 2 days without working, or stuff like that. They will work on the micro marketing, on the claims, on the messages, but not on the positioning, not on where does the business stand within the competitive landscape, and not focused on answering the number 1 question Dan Kennedy says we need to answer when building a business, which is, why should your customer buy from you and not from someone else, right? So this has been huge for me, understanding the depth of the marketing craft and willing to become a master at it. 3, over-investing in knowledge acquisition, but under-investing in skill acquisition. What does that mean? It means that I had been learning the wrong things to build my business. As you know, I'm a huge proponent on just-in-time learning, which means that I learn about the stuff that I need at the moment in order to take the business to the next level. If I do not know copywriting, well then I will study copywriting and start doing copy. If I do not know how to position the company, then I will learn positioning and start working on positioning the company. Because I'm truly committed to self-mastery. I want to be the one that is able to drive demand and marketing generation services for the company, right? I don't want to outsource that. The problem is that once you get enamored with something you're learning, it is very easy to get swayed away and start learning things that are not immediately applicable to the things that you are needing in the business, right? Let's say you start with positioning, then you go with message marketing match, and then you go into the history of branding and whatever it is very easy to get swayed away of the things you truly need. And that's what I mean over investing in knowledge acquisition, knowledge understood as things that are useful but not in the moment. That's skill acquisition, stuff that builds me based on the bottlenecks that I have discovered in my business. This one is huge, huge. And 4, hiring wrong. Just as you can be learning useful stuff that is not immediately applicable, so it's more knowledge and skill acquisition, you can also hire good people at the wrong time. And that has happened to me in the past. People that were fantastic for the company, but I just fell enamored with the position they had, but they were not really useful to the company at that time. I wanted to work with them, but they were not qualified to do the things that we truly needed. And that was totally my fault because the business was not ready to have that position and I had to let them go. And this is a massive mistake from my part, right? So hiring wrong, not necessarily hiring bad, doesn't mean that I hired the wrong people. In fact, I hired the right people for the wrong thing at the wrong moment. And this is a lesson that all entrepreneurs learn at some point in their entrepreneurial careers. And now, what I would do differently, what are the 4 or 5 tips that I would give a newly minted entrepreneur so they can fast track the success? Here we go. But before we get into it, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss out on any of the juicy content that we release every week. And also because it is the right thing to do. You love this channel and you know you have a friend who will most likely benefit from our content. So please share it. So the idea here is that by doing the opposite of what I just described, you will give yourself a chance to become a better entrepreneur sooner. The first thing is, of course, master marketing, but understand marketing as 2 different sides of the same coin. One is the macro marketing and one is the micro marketing. Macro is the positioning. Who are you? Who are the competitors? How do you relate to them? What do you provide to your customers? How do you make their life better? Why they need to buy from you, not someone else? What are your truly ideological positioning and marketing positioning that makes you indispensable in your lives? This is what I call macro marketing. And then micro marketing is how do you translate this positioning to messages that actually work? What's the message market match? What are the social media channels? What is the paid ad strategy? All that stuff stems from positioning. But positioning is not something people like to devote time to because it is too theoretical. It sounds not applicable, but truly is the core of a sound marketing strategy. Everything flows from a strong positioning. 2, you guessed this one. Build a 10x product after you have an MVP, a minimum viable product, not before. So even if you know you're building the absolute best product, try to do that when you have traction, when you already know it is useful, when you have a viable product that is already helping your clients achieve what they want. Not before. Don't make my mistake. Don't be the kind of person that just wants to be perfect when delivering a product or service and ends up jeopardizing its own business growth. A 10x product is absolutely the right goal to have, but it has to come after you've figured your marketing out. 3, don't get clients, build relationship. This one is massive. See, if you're truly doing a good job at selecting your clients, you are probably working with very cool folks. At least we are, right? Folks that I would happily go get a beer with. Folks that I want to be in business relationship for a lifetime, let's say, right? So if you change the scope from being transactional, let's just sell this product to this person and that's it. Let's actually build relationship. How can I provide value to this person throughout our life cycle? And don't think about it in purely economic terms through products and services. You can also build friendship. You can build relationships that are not predicated on a transaction of money, because the best relationship are those that are based on trust. And the more you work on becoming a friend and essentially helping those that have paid you, the more they will purchase from you in the future, the better referrals they will provide, and overall the better experience they will have with your program, which will give you a boost in reputation and results. And finally, 4, sharpen the axe daily, but do so mindfully. So what do I mean? I mean that you need to be learning, reading, consuming good content, building yourself up, developing your skills, becoming dangerous at your craft. But don't make my mistake of overinvesting in knowledge and underinvesting in skill acquisition, because you'll pay the price. Only learn what you truly need at that moment and nothing else. Why? Because that's going to make your learning way more fun. If you can immediately apply what you just learned, that will get encoded in your brain in a much better fashion. If you decide, I don't know, to start reading about history of medieval India and you're building a marketing agency, I'm sure it is super interesting what happened in India 600 years ago, but it's not immediately applicable. So there's an opportunity cost that you are incurring by learning things that are not immediately applicable. One, because you're not learning things that could be working for you, but also because you're learning stuff that you will inevitably forget, because the things that you do not use, you forget them, right? So don't make my mistake. Don't try to become a knowledge buff. Be a fantastic businessman by investing in the things you need to learn and execute on them. And now tell me, what mistakes have you done in your career when building your business? Do you have like a very clear idea of the things you fucked up in the past and you believe others should know in order to get better results? If so, please share them in the comments. Let's create an awesome thread. Let's start helping others avoid the mistake that we painfully made in the past. See you in the next video.